Hello, welcome. My name is Nala, and if you are here with me live, thank you so much for joining. And if you're watching on the replay, I appreciate you being here with us as well. Today's video is all about preparing for your very first live stream on YouTube. Now, there's many things that you can do in preparation for this kind of monumental for some step in terms of diversifying your content here on YouTube. And I'm just going to go off the top of my head with where I think you should begin. So, one, if you're nervous about going live, right, you got to address those nerves. Give me 1 second. Address. Oops, I think I spelled that wrong. Let me just see. Welcome, welcome. So, yes, feel free to ask any questions throughout this live stream and drop any questions you may have in the comments if you are watching on the replay. But yes, the first place that you should start is addressing any nerves, anxiety, whatever word you want to insert that you may have about going live. I know for me, I was really terrified of going live and didn't think it would be something that I could do anytime soon until I tapped in to a couple of lives on here that showed me I could do this. Oftentimes when I would watch lives prior to, the ones I just mentioned, they would be these highly produced lives. I'm talking about lives from Think Media as a great example. Their lives are always on point, super professional, and I think I had it made up in my mind that when I go live, that's how I have to look and that's how I have to come with it. Until, like I said, I saw some lives where it was just really simple, really, really simple. And that's what helped me get over a lot of the mental roadblocks, a lot of the nerves I was having when it came to going live. So, another way that you can get over your nerves is to sit down with yourself and ask yourself, okay, what are you nervous about specifically when it comes to going live? Because I think it's different for everybody. Some people are caught up on what am I going to talk about for that for such a long length of time, or how am I going to talk to the camera without having the ability to edit out any mistakes that I may make. Some people are caught up on maybe the appearance aspect. How am I going to act in front of a live audience? So once you pinpoint what that is that makes you nervous, then you'll be able to maybe look up some videos here on YouTube that can help you with that specific issue that or challenge that you're having in terms of going live. Derek, thank you so much for being here. Derek says, I went live on Monday. I was nervous, but once I got into it, it felt natural. And I think that's a great point to make on the topic of addressing nerves. Once you actually turn on the camera and go live, sooner or later, it is going to start to feel natural to you. Now, do you guys want to share or feel like sharing? If you're nervous about going live, what is that specific thing for you that has you kind of caught up and is holding you back from going live? I would love to know. So, the next thing I think that you should potentially focus on in preparation is what will be the topic of your first live. I think being clear on that topic and what you will be sharing in the live can help also calm some of those nerves, like we were just talking about. And coming up with a topic for your first live, Here's what I have to say. You want to choose a topic where if you were sitting in person with someone having a conversation and they just casually asked you a question, you would be able to answer that question without going to do some research, without watching some other YouTube videos, without doing nothing. You want to do a topic of your life about stuff. The topics of your life should be about stuff that you know off the top of your head. Like nobody can tell you shit about this because you know it enough where it could come out pretty easily. Essentially what I'm trying to say is it shouldn't be a topic where you're new to the subject matter. It should be a topic that you're very familiar with the subject matter. Um Hello, good evening. So glad I'm finally catching you live. I'm so happy you're here with me. What's your name? So, yes, we're currently talking about what will be the topic of your first live. So, you also want to think about, is this a topic where you can talk about for at least 60 minutes? Now, you may not want to do your first live for that amount of time, but I'm definitely going to encourage you to do your live for at least 60 minutes if you can, because going live is a great strategy for increasing your watch hours if that's something you need to do. Let's say you don't need to increase your watch hours. Why should you still go live for 60 minutes? Well, it will help you learn to communicate for that amount of time here on YouTube. I think the nature of lives is they're a bit longer. They're more of an opportunity for your audience to connect with you. And sometimes in a 10-minute, 16-minute, 24-minute video, that's not long enough for the audience to have that hangout time with you, you know? So as you're preparing to go live, what is a topic where one, you could talk about it for at least an hour, and two, is this a topic where those that do tune in live with you, can they engage back and forth? Can they ask you some questions? You know, are you going to be able to create conversation from the topic that you're choosing for your very first live? Hi, Faith. Faith is here with us live right now, and I just feel so good connecting with those who do tune in with my live. It's such a special feeling, just tying that back into the point I was sharing about what is the topic of your very first live. So, moving on in terms of preparation, hold on, let me just see if I have anything else left to say about choosing a topic. Nothing comes to mind, but if I think of anything else about choosing the topic for your first live, I'll be sure to circle back around to this. I want to talk about the SEO aspect. So, preparing a thumbnail and title, etc., for your first live. You might not think that having a thumbnail and title is necessary. Honestly, for this live right here, I didn't have enough time to prepare my thumbnail at the very least. I took the picture, but I couldn't, dress it up yet. But when I'm done with this live, I'll be sure to upload that thumbnail. You want to treat your lives like you would a regular YouTube video. And why is that? Well, YouTube treats your lives like a regular YouTube video. Once your live goes public and it's on your channel, YouTube will suggest your live to people to potential viewers. And it's not just something to think about in that current moment, like, oh, this live is only for the people that tune in right at that moment. This video is going to live on your channel, and this video can do work for you. It can bring in subscribers for you. It can bring in watch time hours if that's something that you need. It can help. It can add to the credibility you may be trying to build. So when you're preparing for your live, you do want to think of the thumbnail and see if I happen to be live, will someone click on this thumbnail and join me in that moment? Or if the live is over, will they see the thumbnail and still want to watch the replay? Getting replay value on your lives is super beneficial. in terms of increasing your viewership on your channel and so on and so forth. Now, when it comes to your title, again, your this is like a normal video. You want to have a good title that is intriguing and that is clear to someone, once again, that may catch you during your live or catch you afterwards when it's done. So thank you so much. I just got some sweet encouragement here from Mrs. Hundreds. Thank you so much. So here's a little insight to how I've been creating my thumbnails, because if you don't know, I'm on a challenge to go live every day in the month of March. It is March 6th. This is my 6th live in a row. Talk about a challenge. Now, if you are planning to add in live streams into your content, I would suggest creating your thumbnails in advance if you can, because honestly, it does take some time to come up with a good thumbnail, whether that's for a regular video or for a live. So if you already know in advance some of the topics you're going to cover in your lives and think, yeah, if you know in advance some of the topics you're going to cover in your lives, then go ahead and create some thumbnails in advance. Derek, if you're still here with me, I would love to know, did you use a thumbnail for the live you did on Monday? But yeah, when it comes to preparing for your first live or any lives thereafter, as much work as you can do in advance, the better. I was watching a video the other day and they said when it comes to doing a live video, you save a lot of time on the editing, right? You don't have to edit this video. You should be able to have a good enough delivery and clear enough message during your live where you're not going back and into the YouTube studio and cutting things out. So you definitely can like cut out the beginning if you were slow to start. There's things that you can cut out and edit if you must, but ultimately you're saving a lot of time not having to edit. So where should you put that time that you're saving? You should put that in preparing for your thumbnail and preparing for your title. Even though a live isn't like a traditional video, and in a sense, I can't stress enough the fact that you still want to use the time that you spent going live to your advantage as much as possible once it's available for replay. And that just means making sure the viewer, someone who does decide to click on the replay of your video, has as good enough experience as possible, even though they weren't there for you in the live moment. And you guys feel free to ask any questions you may have about going live. I'll be sure to answer them for you. So next, in terms of preparing for your first live, you want to think about your equipment and what you want to think about your equipment. Just writing this so you guys can see it on the screen. Derek says he used a thumbnail, so that's good to know. But I bring up Derek again because earlier this week, he was telling me that he was preparing to go live, but his Wi-Fi essentially was acting up. And then I realized like doing a live stream probably does take having a secure Wi-Fi connection. So sometimes, depending on the type of Wi-Fi that you have, just doing it without having the Ethernet cord or something, you know what I'm saying, having it directly hooked up to your computer, you might experience some difficulties going live, and you want to test that out beforehand, because I know Derek told me that it was kind of frustrating. He was all set to mentally and physically to go live, but his computer wasn't acting right. So you do want to take some time to test out, is my Wi-Fi connection strong enough in order to go live? Secondly, you want to think about your camera setup. You definitely can use your webcam. I'm going to see if I can change right now to my webcam. Oh, look at this. This is me using my webcam. And though, because I have a studio light here, it's not horrible. It's not horrible, right? But when I'm using my actual camera that I film my regular content with, it's just a bit clearer. And that's a better experience for the viewer, we're always going to want to think about the experience for the viewer, both directly in the live and after when it's set to replay. So one of my hiccups that I had with going live was like, I want the best picture quality as possible, but I thought it was going to take a whole process to get my camera to be able to go live from my camera, when all I had to do was plug in a cord to my desktop to my camera. And for you, you might just need to plug in a cord to your laptop and it goes straight to your camera. Now, you may be saying to yourself, I don't even have a professional camera that I film my normal videos with. I only use my cell phone. Well, take some time in preparation for your first live to see, how can I use perhaps the back camera that's going to be facing y'all? How can I use the back camera to go live so that once again you're giving the best picture quality for your viewer? Now, if you want to use the front camera, I mean, if you just want to use the webcam, if you just want to use the webcam of your computer and that's all you have, go for it. Don't let that stop you. You know, this is all about getting over the hump and getting your first live out on the platform. If this is all you have, then use that. But if you can give, sorry guys, if you can use a better camera, I'm definitely going to encourage you to do that. Now, something you may not know is now on YouTube, you can go live directly from your phone in vertical. So maybe that is something that's easier for you to do, because you may not have a webcam at all. But the point is, you need to figure out, how are you going to be going live? What camera are you going to be using? So we did touch on making sure we have strong Wi-Fi, and I told y'all the story about Derek's Wi-Fi hiccup. He said, I had to connect the Wi-Fi directly to my computer in order to get it right. So you might be in that situation and you want to figure out that beforehand, sooner rather than later. As you can see here, I am using a external microphone. I'm not using the microphone from my laptop, nor from my desktop, nor from my camera. And this is the microphone that I use when I do my normal content. Now, I do suggest you invest in a microphone. They have cheap microphones on Amazon for $20. Go on TikTok and search best cheap external microphone, and why is that? Well, even though I'm using my professional camera here, even when you watch it on the replay, it's a little bit grainy. The picture isn't as crystal clear as when you post a normal video on YouTube. So that means you really want to focus on the audio and making sure the audio is a good experience for the viewer. So, and that's even more important now than not, because this is a live video and you can't rely on the crispiness of a, you know, what's the opposite of a live video? Y'all know what I'm trying to say, right? So yeah, invest in a microphone if you can, and have as best of audio as you possibly can. On another note of equipment, are you going to go live using directly from YouTube? Or are you going to try something out like StreamYard? Currently, I am using StreamYard. I am using a 14-day trial, 14-day free trial that I got from Think Media. And I'll be sure to leave the link for that free trial for StreamYard in the description box of this video. But I love StreamYard because I can do things like have this text on my screen easily. I didn't know I had a typo in it, but look, I could easily, this is a great opportunity to show. It said you want about to your equipment. You want to think about your equipment. Um, Look how easy I was able to fix that. You want to think about your equipment, and I'm able to write different things on screen. I'm able to pull up different comments from you guys so that the replay viewers are able to feel connected to the conversation that was going on in the current live, and just really showcase what you guys are saying. I'm unable to do that in the YouTube, when I just go live on YouTube. Furthermore, I'm able to have even better picture quality because I'm using StreamYard. And also, when it comes to the audio on StreamYard, they have a feature where they're able to like quiet your background, and just improve that experience. Again, improve the experience for the viewer. So I don't know how much StreamYard is, you guys, but I'm definitely using this free trial for as long as I can. And there's other live streaming platforms that you might want to look into. They are great for just adding a little bit pizzazz to your live streams. I know with StreamYard, I can share videos with you guys. I can share my screen with you guys. I can have other participants, which I will be doing this month. I will be going live with a few people. So, yeah, just take some time to think about what platform do you want to use to go live. The next thing, I think this is kind of on a similar topic, but you want to think about your setup here. You may already have a tried and true, is that the phrase? I don't know, but you may already have a setup that you use when you film your regular videos that you like and it works well for you. But if you don't, now preparing for your first live stream, this is a good time to think about your setup. I know for me, every time I go live, I got to clean up my background. There might be toys everywhere, yada yada yada. It's a little bit messy. I I don't really want it to be messy when I come on live. So I guess the point of thinking about your environment is just like, I guess when you film like a normal video, you got to just make sure your background is set up as well. Same thing goes for live. You don't necessarily want to just be chilling on the couch with your laptop and then go live and you just have a blank wall behind you. Like you want to go live in an environment that would be similar to you filming a normal YouTube video. Um, Now for the next thing, we talked about addressing nerves. We talked about the topic of your first live, preparing your thumbnail and title, and you want to think about your equipment. The next thing I'll say is preparing what you're going to, like the flow. What's a better word for that? Preparing the flow of your live stream. What will happen while you are going live? So I think this is similar to when you write out a script for your YouTube video, right? You don't necessarily, it depends. You may want to write out a script for your live. You may just want to go into it with no plan at all. But I do think even if you start your live already, a simple trick here is using ChatGPT. ChatGPT is phenomenal. If you aren't using it already, it's a tool that really helps streamline and make the process of content creation efficient. Let's say you want to go live and all you know about your live is your topic, but you don't know the flow of it, right? You don't know how you want to start the live off, the points you want to make, so on and so forth. All you got to do is tell ChatGPT, I'm going live on my YouTube channel, and this is the topic I want to talk about. Can you please create a simple outline of what I should cover in the live? And then as the live is going, all you need to do is perhaps like usually I'll have the outline ChatGPT gave me up on my iPad so I can just briefly refer to it during my live. You can have it up on your phone, whatever the case may be. Like work smarter, not harder. Lives are supposed to be a bit more casual and laid back. And like I said in the beginning, you want to talk about topics on your live that is pretty easy for you to discuss, So use ChatGPT. If you don't want to use AI, You can take some time prior to you going live just to jot down your outline. Welcome in, folks. What's the first point you're going to make? Second point, third point. Are you going to leave some time for a Q&A? So on and so forth. So, and not every live may just be like beginning, middle, end. Do you want to do lives where it's like a workshop or it's like a live tutorial? I saw, not in too much detail, but you can even vlog live. And perhaps that's easier to do from your phone, but maybe I'll try that one day. You just want to get clear on the flow, the format. What are you going to do? You know? So let's see what you guys are saying. Yes, I'm a unicorn says I pay about $25 per month for StreamYard and it's totally worth it. So many features you can stream on multiple platforms at once. That's not bad. That's not bad. You know what? I actually thought it was more than that based on all the features that you have with StreamYard. Totally improves the live stream experience for everyone. Derek says, I use OBS Studio to record and go live. It's free, but I believe StreamYard is a little bit better. Like I said, there's multiple live stream platforms. I've heard of OBS before, but yeah, it's whatever works and whatever you can do. I will say, in terms of preparing for the flow of your live stream, you want to be prepared. Like if you've obviously never gone live before, you want to be prepared for the fact that there may be pauses. You may have to like gather your thoughts. Like you want to go into your first live or your first initial lives with like not expectations to be perfect and deliver your message perfectly. Because I've done this 6 days in a row, I can already tell that I'm more easily able to flow. There's way more less pauses and like mind confusion and me getting jumbled up on my words and everything like that than there was when I first ever did my live stream. So keep that in mind. Now, when it comes to preparing for the flow as well, I did take some time to research like how to improve my live streams, and the advice that I took away that I want to share with you guys is the very beginning of your live stream. If you go back and watch some of my initial lives, I would start the live stream, right? And just kind of say, okay, I'm waiting for people to join. We're going to get started soon. I'm waiting for people to join, yada, 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 which is not necessarily wrong, but it doesn't necessarily take into account someone who wasn't there to be with me live. And the advice that I got was jump right into the content just like you would on a normal video. So if anyone wants to feel free to share their opinion on that, do you think that you should start your live off waiting for folks to join, or do you want to jump right into the content? For me, I have started to jump right into the content, but I do wonder in the back of my mind, like, what is that like for people that's just joining in and just diving in to what I'm saying? You know, I always want to keep in mind the viewer's experience, and I just hope that me jumping right into the content and not necessarily waiting for folks to join, people are able to still follow along. And once again, just as a reminder for those that are here live with me, feel free to ask any questions in the comments that you may have. And if you're watching on the replay, don't be afraid to leave a comment or a question below. And then when it comes to ending your live stream, right? The advice that I got was very similar. Don't start to like teeter off and be like, okay, I'm about to end it. And then I've done that. You know, I've said, okay, I'm going to end this soon. Do you guys have any questions? And make it seem like you're about to end it. You just kind of want to always keep in mind, like, if you let people know you're going to end the video, they may click off. Like it's not that big of a deal, but it's just advice that I wanted to share with you guys in terms of preparing for your very first live. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about is what if you want to make live streaming a part of your overall content strategy? How would you prepare for that? How would you prepare for that? Well, I would say I I'm going to give a little bit of my personal experience right now. So, I made the decision to go live every day in March really based off of emotion. And I really didn't understand. I thought going live was more simple than it actually is. And I want to let you know, if you do want to make live streaming part of your overall strategy, it's going to add more time, like it's going to take more time out of you. It's going to take more time, more effort, and more energy out of you to do live streaming content and to do your regularly scheduled content. So just be prepared for that. If any, like, I really thought live streaming was just like, oh, click start, just get on here and talk about whatever. But all the things that we talked about so far in terms of preparation for your first live stream, that's a lot of work. And I'm someone that already has limited time. So if you have limited time as it is just to get your normal content out, you want to think strategically about how you're going to add in live streaming. And I would, if I were to do this all over again, I would at least take a week, maybe 2 weeks to write down all the topics for my live streams, create thumbnails in advance, do as much as I can of this process in advance so that it is simply turning on the camera and going live. But I had the game twisted. It is not as easy as it seems to do live streaming content. And I guess that's different for everyone. It probably does depend on your niche. Like, what if you're in the gaming niche? Maybe it's just simple to turn on your game and do that. I don't know, but I'm just trying to give some type of pre-warning to let you know, if you thought this was easy, if you thought this was a walk in the park, especially just to add it into your strategy, think twice about that. Ha- ha- hello, Sine. Thank you for joining. Um, on this topic, Derek says you have to plan out multiple live streams at once if you can. Exactly. That's something that I'm learning, because doing the live streams right now is taking up time away from my regular scheduled content. And I don't think that's the goal for anyone. I think if you want to make live streaming a part of your strategy, you want to be able to do both. You want to continue what you're currently doing and just add this into the fold. So I definitely agree with Derek's advice. Plan out multiple live streams in advance. And that speaks to batching. um, we've probably heard, a lot of us have heard, batching your content creation process. In general, live streaming is no different. Live streaming is not excluded. You want to batch it if you can, if it's something that you want to be in your content strategy. So why would you want live streaming to be a part of your content strategy? I think I touched on some of the different benefits already, but just to put it out to you clearly, I think one of the strongest benefits of going live is this is where you truly get to build community. I think a beautiful example is just this encouragement that I'm getting from the Woo Pig podcast. Shout out to you for encouraging me. Keep showing, they will come. And this is a great moment. If you're doing live streaming to increase your watch time, let me tell you right now, the watch time is up. You know how when you go into that analytics, YouTube analytics, and you see that green arrow going up, maybe next to your views or maybe next to your click-through rate. Well, let me tell you, I got a green arrow going up on my watch time. And I've only been doing this for 6 days. Just imagine what it's going to be 30 days out after I have kept going live. So, yes, a huge benefit of adding live streaming is you get to connect with your audience. Even, I shared this earlier. Hey, girl, you're doing great. The encouragement. We've talked in here. We've laughed in here. We've connected in here. And if you're serious about not only growing on YouTube, but building a community of people that you can grow with, that you can take anywhere, people that are going to want to support you and vice versa, you want to think about trying to add live streaming into um, your strategy. The Woo Pig podcast says take your long form content live and make 3 separate videos from that. You can get many videos out of one video. And this is perfect timing because this brings me to another benefit of making live streaming a part of your overall content strategy. After the first, after the second live stream I did, I realized that I'm making a content machine. I can, since I'm choosing to go live for at least an hour, I at least can make like the Woo Pig podcast is saying 3 separate videos from that. Now you can't be stopped. Like if you go live, you have additional long form content that you can post on top of the long form content that you're already planning. And that's a major benefit, especially as small channels who ultimately consistency and getting out as much content as possible is going to do nothing but be beneficial to the growth of your channel. Derek says, you're right. Live streams help you connect with your community more. Yes. So if we want to recap benefits so far, connecting with your community, turning your content more into a machine and allowing you to film a super long piece of content and create smaller videos from that long form piece of content. We have a question here. So how many minutes should someone live stream for? Sine, you want to, the common advice from YouTube gurus, this is not just from little old me, is you want to live stream for 60 to 90 minutes. And once again, that could be so you can create some shorter videos from that. Or if you're trying to get your watch time up, that gives you opportunity to increase your watch time hours. And going live for 60 to 90 minutes gives a true opportunity for people to come and hang out with you and for you to connect with your community more. In terms of live streaming, we're talking about the benefits of live streaming right now and how that can be beneficial to adding into your overall content strategy. I'm really excited for me to sit down and film another video. And you know why? I really think I have improved not only talking to the camera, but delivering a message to the camera. And I may be wrong. I may be mistakenly tooting my own horn. I haven't been able to watch back any of my lives for real, except for like one. But I feel like going live has allowed me to experience myself talking to the camera in the most natural way as possible. Early on, Derek shared with us that he went live on Monday, was nervous at first, but once he got into it, it felt natural. And I don't know, I think there's something a bit more natural about going live than pre-recording a video. And I think that's because there's someone here. There's an audience here. When you're recording by yourself, it's just you and the camera. But when you go live, there's people here. There's people encouraging you. There's people engaging with you in real time. And I think that has helped how I naturally am come to fruition. We have affirmation here. Sine says true. And I think this is an invaluable benefit of adding live streaming in your overall content strategy. It's going to help your regular content be even better. And how is that not a benefit? And then it just improves the skill because YouTube, being a successful YouTuber comes with, or ultimately looks like, being really good at a certain skill set, communicating to the camera, having the ability to deliver a strong, clear, and concise message. All of that are skills, and live streaming is a great opportunity to practice that skill along with getting the other benefits as well. So it's a win-win situation. I think adding live streaming into your content, um, you know how people say if you're nervous to talk to the camera, just record a video on your phone every day and you'll eventually not be as scared to talk to the camera. But recording a video on your phone doesn't come with the same benefits as recording it live and getting that practice on the camera live. the people that tune into your very first live streams, they really they support you in a different kind of way than anybody else. So if you're nervous about how you're going to communicate initially, please try to subside those nerves and just know whoever does show up is rooting for you, and they're going to be there to see how you evolved from day one until your 30th live stream. So yes, Sine says, my first live stream, I was so nervous. Mm, I definitely feel you on that. How do you feel now after going live? I definitely want to know. The Woo Pig podcast says, and hit make sure you wipe your feet and hit the like button. Um, I don't know what you mean by that. Can you let me in? What do you mean? Make sure you wipe your feet and hit the like button. But yes, Sine says good. She feels good. She was nervous at first when she went live, and now she feels good. And I think a lot of you all interested in going live will find it's nothing but positive emotions overall once you actually do it. Now, moving on in terms of preparing for your very first live stream, I think that watching watching other lives, watching other lives is going to help you out. So, I think a hack is taking some time to watch other live streams. Prior to going live, I would only watch live streams on TikTok. Um, or I would watch live streams on YouTube as well, but not as not as often. But the moment, and I think I shared earlier, when I watched some other live streams, especially when I tuned into somebody's live right then and there and I was able to speak with them directly, oh man, that just changed my whole mood towards going live. So I definitely think in preparation, if you're not able to take any other steps that we talked about so far today, try to start watching other lives. I'm assuming it will help you take your nerves down and find that format, because you just don't know. Just like you have to figure out what format is best for you in a regular style content, you're going to have to figure out what format is best for you when it comes to going live. Um, the Woo Pig podcast says, LOL, I'm telling people in the comments to hit the like button. Well, yes, I second that. Please, please hit the like button if you haven't already. Thank you. Thank you so much, the Woo Pig podcast. What is your name? Because that is a lot to say, the Woo Pig podcast. Tap in with them if you want. But what is your name? All right, guys. Does anybody currently watching have any questions that they would like to ask? Now, this can be content related or even business related. Or do you guys have any ideas that you need help fleshing out? Please feel free to ask and share and let me know. While I'm waiting for potentially some questions and some to hear from you guys that are watching with me live, I just want to take some time to share my experience so far with doing this live thing. I kind of touched on it before, but this is a beast. Um, Going live is a beast. I guess this is another thing that you might want to prepare for. You think about your entire day, right? You think about having 24 hours in a day, and you may think to yourself, well, I definitely have 60 minutes to go live. I have 90 minutes to go live. Well, I don't think it's that simple. One, if you're going live for 60 minutes, you really need to figure out within your schedule, when can you carve out that hour of time and still have time for everything else that you have going on in your life. For me, it is tends to be late at night. Is that the best time for me to maximize how many people I can get coming into my live when I'm actually doing it? I don't know, but this is the time currently that works for me. But I've noticed doing this for 6 days now, this block of time is not only the 60 minutes. Maybe you're just joining in and you haven't heard what we talked about in terms of preparing for a live, but you have to think it's not just 60 minutes, it's all that time is going to take for you to prepare for the live, coming up with your outline, coming up with your title, coming up with your thumbnail, and doing all of that. It takes time. It does. And I've touched on so far in my experience, I've been a little bit wobbly trying to keep the balance with my normal content and my live content. And thank God I'm not doing short form content. Thank God I'm not doing short form content. But that leads me to a bonus tip that I want to share with you guys. We talked about cutting up your live streams for 3 separate long form videos, but we didn't talk about doing that for short form content. I definitely think that going live is similar to doing a podcast in a sense. You might have heard people that do podcasts, they tend to use Opus Clip to create little short form videos. Well, you could do the same thing with your live streams. So now you're pumping out your short form, you got your long form, and you got your live streams. You could be unstoppable. And I think going live is a great strategy for people, excuse me, who are limited on time, because you could pack so much value in this 60 minutes and make it work for you throughout the week. You don't just have to have, what I'm trying to do is my stuff is kind of separate. I want to do my live stream topics and I want to do the normal content topics, different things that I plan to do in the beginning of the month on my channel. But yes, live streaming, when we talked about benefits earlier and why going live should potentially be a part of your overall content strategy, it's great if you're limited on time. It's amazing if you're limited on time. And Opus Clips, I'm still playing around with it. I definitely encourage you guys to watch a tutorial on Opus Clips, because I did the other night and I'm like, oh wow, I could do a lot of different things with this. So I'll leave the tutorial I watched in the comments below, but do not sleep on the power of AI to help you with uploading and creating different formats of content. Um, so yeah, that's something that I've been struggling with. But what's been going well, what I sought out to do with live streaming, and my watch hours are going up. They're going up, guys. And the thing is, I'm not getting 300, 500 like views on my live so far. I'm not. I'm getting humble views on my lives right now. But my goal of increasing my watch hours is happening, and I'm only just started with live streaming. So I'm just like imagining, you know, earlier I got a comment from the Woo Pig podcast that said, keep showing up, they will come. And I wholeheartedly believe this. I wholeheartedly believe this. I have to get my community used to the fact that I'm going live, and I probably have to get the algorithm used to the fact that I'm going live. So I'm just really thankful that even though I did add a whole bunch of work to my plate and already to my limited schedule, it's working out for me and my watch hours are increasing. So this is not hype. This is a real strategy to increase your watch time hours. To be honest with you guys, I'm not going to put it out. I mean, if you watch this live, you'll see. But I honestly think I can be monetized um, within the next 6 months. I honestly think I could be monetized. Excuse me, how far is June? Let me see, March, April, May. In 4 months, I think I could be monetized by adding live streaming into my strategy. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. And you could be on your way too. Derek has some great advice here, something that I need to do. I should also schedule the live earlier so people can come across and see it during the day. Great tip. This is also a great preparation tip. Once you are clear on your topic and your idea for your live, schedule it as soon as possible so that when people are checking their subscriptions feed during the day and everything like that, they can see, oh, so and so is going live. Notify me. They can click notify and be ready for that. I think that'll be very beneficial to me as someone that has to go live in the nighttime after my little one goes to sleep, after the little one is down. Okay. So that's a great point there. We have Cozy Koa. It's giving me a lovely congratulations on 541 subscribers. Thank you so much for the love. And I because this topic in this live is about preparing for your first live stream, and we kind of touch on the benefits of going live. This is another example of something that I talked about is you get to connect with your community in real time. I can receive this love from Cozy Koa, who is, this person has an established YouTube channel already, and they're over here showing me love. So I appreciate that so much. Um, yeah, guys. So please let me know if you have any other questions. Um, I would love to take a moment to answer them for you if I can. Um, I'm excited. I did want to take some time during this live stream to maybe take the time that I need to prepare myself for the lives that I have coming up. But I ended up having a lot more to say to you all. I think it'll be cool, definitely at some point this month. I'm going to do like a work session type of live stream so that we can all work on our content together. I think that will be beneficial for me and for y'all because sometimes um, it can be hard to work on your content when it feels like so lonely and there's no one to hold you accountable. But I definitely think I can bring some accountability to my community and those that just need some support and working on their content. We could do that together. Yes, we can. And that's another format of going live. Like, I don't know if you guys ever came across like StudyTube, but there's people that go live and like they hang out and everyone studies together. So why can't we apply that to working on our content together or whatever your niche may be? You may want to do that for your niche. It just all depends. Otherwise, this going live daily has taken a specific type of mental energy out of me. I had to did I eat dinner yet? No. Let me know. Did you guys eat dinner yet? If you're watching live, I haven't eaten dinner. Um, I could go down a laundry list of things that are on my mind that may have wanted to persuade me from going live, but I saw a video that just was talking about if you're if you're tired, do it tired. And I hope you can get what I'm touching on just with that phrase alone. And that's what I want you to take away from just even being in the space to prepare for your very first live stream. It may be tiring to add on to your plate all these different steps to add this type of content into your strategy. It may seem like a lot of work, but ultimately it's going to be beneficial for you. And even if you're tired, even if you're just feeling some type of way, whatever way that may be, do it anyways. Do it anyways. I wasn't as prepared as I wanted to be for this live, but I was able to pull it out of me because I really am passionate about this type of stuff. I'm passionate about content creation, all that type of stuff. I didn't get to share this earlier, but the Woo Pig podcast shared if using a Mac, Ecamm Live is your best friend, makes live streaming so easy. I'm using a Mac. I never heard of Ecamm Live. I definitely want to look into that. So just to recap some of the different live streaming services we talked about Ecamm Live just now. Early on, Derek let us know about OBS Studio is another live streaming that you can use. And then I touched on using StreamYard. And yes, I'm a unicorn, was able to tell us that StreamYard is about $25 per month. And you can let go of that. Then I'm using StreamYard right now. It's an amazing tool, definitely amazing tool. But yes, back to putting up my little question Q&A session thing here. I would love to know, if you guys have any questions. But hey, I ain't begging. I don't want to come off that I'm begging for questions, but I just want to take the time to interact with you guys. I've also gotten going live daily has allowed me to trust myself more. Sometimes let me know if you ever experience when you're writing or getting ready for your script for a video. How much second guessing do you do about what you're going to say in the video? Because I know I do a lot of second guessing of the bullet points I'm creating for my script, or even if I'm starting to film the video, I start to second guess like what I'm saying. And I'm like pausing hella long, trying to see if I should rephrase something. Oh, it didn't come out right. And there's all this back and forth in my mind about how I'm talking to the camera, but going live has allowed me to trust myself more because I don't want to be taking a mental pause trying to gather my thoughts for too long. Like, however I'm thinking about it initially, just let it come out. And if it doesn't sound the greatest, well, someone here might say to me, can you clarify that? I didn't quite get what you meant if it was that unclear. So that's, something I haven't touched on yet in terms of the benefit of going live, trusting what you have to say. And like, I can talk, like I can communicate. Everything that comes out my mouth doesn't have to be thought about for 15 minutes. I can just say it just like I would in a normal conversation. I took inspiration from your stream, Manassi says. I took inspiration from your stream and I schedule a live stream tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. Well, congratulations. I'm so excited for you. I hope your live stream goes well, and just dialing in on the fact that it's already scheduled. He's already prepared for his live stream, and doing that preparation up front is so amazing, and also allows you to go into your live stream in a calm, peace kind of way. I don't know if you guys can ever tell, or if you're here with me still from the beginning. I come on and I'm shuffling things around and I'm a little bit frazzled sometimes, but I do like when I've already prepared for my live and I'm just sitting here ready to do it. That's a huge benefit of preparing beforehand. But speaking about, we were just talking about a benefit of going live is trusting yourself. And Derek seconds that in the sense of saying, you think long, you think wrong. Oh, he dropped a little bar on us. You think long, you think wrong. And I love that. That's a nice, concise way to put what I was just sharing. Like, why do I need to think so long about something that I have to say? And I think that goes along with nerves and being anxious. And you just want to sound like you know what you're talking about. You want to make sure you sound right. But I'm just learning to go trust my instincts, trust my gut, just go with it. No need to think long. Um, Tying back on the note of preparation, Manassi says, I have 10 questions prepared for myself to answer. That's more like the outline for the things I'll discuss in my first live video ever. Thank you for sharing that with us, because this is a great strategy for coming up with an outline. I love the fact that you've put your bullet points into question format, because oftentimes I talked about you want to choose topics for your first live that if you were having an in-person conversation with someone and they asked you a question, you would able to answer it easily without hesitation. So this is a nice hack for preparing your initial outline for your first live. Put the stuff in question form so that you could read the question and then just start running with it. Just start talking to the camera. Excellent, excellent point. And once again, I wish you nothing but the best on your very first live. Yes, I'm a unicorn says you're doing amazing. I find that when I took the time to prepare and then just speak from the heart is more relatable. Relatability is so important in 2024 on YouTube. I think that's a benefit of adding live streaming into your content strategy that I haven't touched on. It gives you the opportunity to showcase the relatability that you have. Amazing, amazing point. Yes, I'm a unicorn. Thank you for that. Well, you guys, the time has come just like that. I have gone live for 60 minutes. I am going to get out of here. Thank you all so much for tapping in with me. If you come up with any questions on this topic, if you're watching on the replay, please feel free to drop them in the comments. Like this video if you haven't already. Thank you so much. Have an amazing whatever it is right now. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.